Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast. Talking Ravens all day, every day with your host, Justin P. And my lovely co host, Miss Shannon Finch. This is episode was 48. Yeah, 48. 48 or 49. For the YouTube, for the audio version is season one. I believe episode 42, 40. No, it's like, no matter of fact, I'm tripping now. It's 46, 48. Yes, 48. But audio version, season one, episode 44. All the links right there in the description. Audio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, All Help Radio. Basically, anywhere you get your podcasts and music stuff from, just type in Talking Ravens all day, every day. And it'll list all the available platforms, which is right there in the description. We back. It was a great draft weekend. I think all the teams did fairly well, probably except for a few teams. We ready to get into it. First thing we're gonna talk about is this Lamar extension. But first, before we get into the topics, there's my wonderful co-host, Miss Shannon Finch, the MVP. So, Tuesdays, it's my day. So I'm gonna start off with the first topic so Shannon can get to it. The Ravens finally extend Lamar and agreed to terms. So a 5-year deal, $265 million, $185 million guaranteed. So Shannon, the floor is yours.
Like now I can breathe, right? The past couple of months have been stressful, draining, exhausting, tiring for every Ravens fan that I know. So to get that news, I believe it was Thursday, like right before the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
It made my the rest of my weekend that much better because I told you I was going to a draft event. So knowing that Lamar
Yeah.
was going to be there, I didn't have to think about whether somebody was going to try to come in late and offer draft picks. It was just good to know that it was over with. Um, I thought it was cute how Eric DeCosta told the story about after the Celtics lost to the Hawks, how sad he was or down he was because he's a Celtics fan. And then Lamar
Mm-hmm.
texted him and said, I think we can get something done. So that goes to show that they both were trying. It wasn't a matter of, like I said, I can look at it now and say, I don't know what was the holdup, but seeing what the deal was, I think it was a fair deal. I do feel like it was something that could have been done, but as we talked about last week, it's in the family of what Jalen got a little bit more, which we expected it to be. He's the highest paid quarterback right now, as it usually is when you're the next one to get paid. But overall, I'm just so happy the deal got done. I don't think it's anything that we need to talk about anymore. But what I will say is that there are going to be a different level of expectations leveled on Lamar this year than in previous years. I think because of how ugly things did get this offseason, people are going to look at it like, oh, well, he better do X, Y, Z. But overall, I'm just happy that the deal got done.
Same here. Yes, I knew it was gonna get done eventually because, like I said, trading him made zero sense. Like, because you like and get who I kept saying get who. It's just and Will Levis fell to the second round for a reason. The first three quarterbacks you weren't going to get not unless you traded them to those teams, and those teams fuck nah, we just going to draft because like I said, they got those spots for a reason. So they pay him. They might not have the money to surround with the rest of rest of the talent that they have. So it was never a question in doubt. So it was just a matter of just how much guaranteed. I guess they finally came to a number that was comfortable for everybody. And shout out to Felicia Jones. Like Hindu said, everybody bashed her. He needs to get an agent, so on, so on, so on. But she got it done. Mama got it done. Nobody's gonna have your best interest in heart like your mother. You know this, Shannon. You are a mother yourself, so you can attest to this. So it's just no. She's gonna always have his best interest in his heart. Whereas though another agent is going to look out for them. It's going to look out for their interest, and which is cool. It's business, but Lamar did the right thing, and it all worked itself out. So, like you said, it's definitely gonna have some expectations. He's gonna have expectations anyway because he won the league MVP in so quickly, It's just now they just going to find more reasons if things don't go well. Oh, he getting paid $180 million. He throw an interception.
Hmm.
So it's
Right.
always going to be nitpicking there, no matter what he do. So, like I said before, the kid been doubted his whole football career. Like, remember, he was told to play our position. So now it
Hmm.
ain't gonna be no different. So he just gonna be another hurdle he gonna get over. But like I said, shout out to EDC and Eric DeCosta for getting this done.
Yeah.
All right. Our second topic. 1 second. All right, with the Ravens drafting Trenton Simpson, what does this mean for Patrick Queen? They just turned down his 5th year extension, his 5th year option yesterday as well. So, what does this mean for Patrick Queen?
Um, I think that it means that it's possible that his days are numbered in Baltimore. Um, I don't know. I think that he's going to play this season here, unless somebody can come with a draft pick, maybe like a second round draft pick or something like that. Because other than that, what reason do we have to get rid of him? I don't think that. I hope that he can understand that it's a business and doesn't really get in his feelings and still shows up, kind of like Chuck Clark did. Just show up and play, regardless of the circumstances, and and win the job. Like if you lose the job to a rookie, you probably shouldn't have it anyway. So I just think that it means that his days could be numbered here, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing, because the longer another year next to Roquan could benefit him in the eyes of other teams, right? So if he has another good year and an even better year because you're doing it from the beginning to the end, hopefully for him, that could open it up for other teams to get you a big bag anyway. So I just think it means his days are numbered. But hopefully he doesn't get in his feelings about it and still shows up to work.
That was well said, Coles. Yeah, and all in all, yeah, like, or they just want him to prove that he, last year just wasn't a fluke. Or like, if he can come out and ball again like that, they may try to work something up with him, like Daniel Jones' 5th year option got declined. Because when teams do that, it don't necessarily mean they don't want you. They just want you to prove that you're worth giving a long term extension to. So
Hmm.
it doesn't mean automatically they want him out the door. It's like, hey man, we just drafted this kid, so if you can't, give us another solid year, playing beside Roquan, then you can go ahead and walk, and we'll take the third round compensation. But if he comes out and has a pretty good year, 145 tackles and couple interceptions, couple sacks like he did last year, but just add a little bit more to it, I think the Ravens will try to work something out with him. And just like I said, Tristan Simpson would just be like I said, he played multiple positions. So he played on the outside, he played middle linebacker, he played some slot corner. So he's the type of guy you can see. Defense is a little different. Off defense, you can find a home to put somebody at.
Hmm.
Like you can find somebody to use them. Like where's the offense? You got to find how to get a person the ball, give them touches. Defense is you can put him on the field and say, hey man, go blitz, go see ball, get ball. Feel me? On
Hmm.
third down, you come cover the tight end. Like he can find a role, so that wouldn't be a problem with PQ still being here. But all's predicated on his upcoming season. If he comes out and ball out, the Ravens might be like, you know what, y'all too good together. We're not gonna break this up just yet. We can't give you 100 million like we gave him, of course. So we can give you 11 million a year. So let's say 4 years,
Hmm.
45, 46 million dollars, something like that. That's a fair, reasonable price for Patrick Queen. So, and he might take that. Or it might be a
Hmm.
team out there like, they got a ton of cap, probably like a dog, like a team like the Lions or one of those teams like them and say, you know what? We'll pay you what Roquan got. So if that happens, he's gonna basically do what CJ Mosley did, like chop up the deuces. But now in
Yeah.
this situation, we're better prepared for that than we was the first time with CJ Mosley. We weren't prepared for that. Then we
Hmm.
had, we gave Kenny Young a shot. He did okay in preseason. Then I guess the Browns and those other teams, he couldn't stop a nosebleed. That's why Nick Chubb ran for 90 yards on us. So then we had to go get LJ Ford and Josh Bynes. I'm not trying to have to call on Josh Bynes anymore. Just respect Uncle Bynes or the Super Bowl 12 team. Super Bowl, 2012 Super Bowl team, but he need to go in and just, relax, go coach his kids or something because, he ain't got he ain't, the wheels ain't there no more. Feel me? Or be a linebacker
Hmm.
coach or something. It's just not there no more. Good player, but Father Time and kick the door on him. So it all depends on Patrick Queen. Honestly, is he gonna be worst enemy or best friend this season? All right. Ravens brought in a couple undrafted free agents, just to name a couple of them. There's a lot I'm winning. I go through the whole list, but the ones that stuck out to me: Keaton Mitchell, running back, East Carolina, the son of former Raven Anthony Mitchell, number 42, one that scooped up the block field goal against the Titans and scored in that AFC divisional game. Dontay Demus, wide receiver out of Maryland. He was projected to be like a fourth round pick, but he got hurt. And Corey Mayfield, calling out of San Jose State. He played opposite of Tariq Woolen last year, and that's with the Seahawks. And then a couple that signed the quarterback from for Delaware. They picked up another tight end. They picked up an offensive lineman, and they picked up another defensive tackle. The guy Trey Bott. So just give me your thoughts on just the undrafted positions, not more so the names, just the position.
Um, I think that like the three names that you mentioned in our topics, right? I think initially it just covers again need, like things that we feel like are needs. But I don't feel like it's anything where any of them are going to be like thrust into the team and have to make make a major impact. Normally the Ravens are good at finding gems with undrafted free agents, right? So I would expect it to be nothing no different this season. They'll probably make more of an impact on special teams, and that would be my advice to any of them to make the team. Go out there and make an impact on special teams because that's how you make it. That's your best chance of probably making the team. And I can say that the Ravens are one team, particularly under John Harbaugh, that they do give their special team guys a chance to come on and play defense, offense, whatever your position may be when it calls for that. So ultimately, I just think that we'll probably find a gem or two like we normally do. Um, and we're not going to be expecting a lot, just come in and learn more or less. But like I said, try to make the special teams to make the team.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Definitely gotta play special teams, especially as an undrafted guy. You really have no choice. So that's one of your
Mm-hmm.
best ways to make the roster just by going on kickoff team, making somebody fumble, blocking a kick, just being a gunner. You gotta just show that you got effort and that you're willing to do anything to get on the field first and foremost. Because you don't have the luxury as a first round, second round pick, like oh, I'm not playing special teams. They have that luxury because they're guaranteed to be here for the first couple years. You're not. You're lucky to even be here. You weren't drafted for a reason, whether it
Mm-hmm.
was an injury, your tape wasn't all that good, your school conference, whatever. But teams didn't select you for whatever reason. So now you got to show you. You got to show like, yeah, I belong. I belong with the 1%, family. I belong with the 1%ers. So definitely get on special teams. Like when you get out there, you gotta make plays, make catches, make tackles, and you gotta play every play like your last. When you like, because preseason is just it's a job interview and audition. You gotta come through. The
Mm-hmm.
more plays you make, the more chances of making a team is going to increase. Michael Paris made our roster as undrafted free agent, and plenty of other guys. But he was just the most recent one that stood out. Went to the Pro Bowl a couple
Mm-hmm.
times, got paid in Minnesota. So, it can happen. So it's just up to, like I said, they got put in the work, and then no more Steve Saunders to hold nobody back from getting hurt and his
Mm-hmm.
craziness spreading COVID and all that junk. He was just a flat out mess, man. Like, so I'm glad he's out the door. So yeah. It's interesting to see these guys, but the one that's gonna stand out to me is Keaton Mitchell. Because
Okay.
like I said, Justice Hill, I'm not in love with him. He's okay. Play special teams. He's okay, but he fumbles the ball too much. Like a couple games when getting the ball, he would
Mm-hmm.
have a couple good runs, then he put the ball on the ground. I'm like, bro, you can't do that because that's what you call lost opportunity. So now our defense got to get back on the field. I mean, do mistakes happen? Yes, but he lets the ball go a little too much for my liking. Harbaugh don't like guys that fumble the football like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Right.
Terrence West got put in the doghouse. Alex Collins, Buck Allen, all the running backs that had problems holding the football a little bit, they all got put in the
Mm-hmm.
doghouse. Harbaugh don't like that at all. That's one
Oh,
of
I
his
know.
biggest pet peeves. Yeah, holding on to the
Mm-hmm.
football. So Keaton Mitchell, and he bring that explosiveness. He reminds you of a smaller version of Chris Johnson. Because
Okay.
Chris, same school, just he not as fast as Chris Johnson. Keaton ran a 4.3, a 4.34. CJ ran 4.24. So not as fast, but still fast as shit. 4.34 is just as fast. So
Mm-hmm.
you put him in, you give him screens, you let him get a couple carries. He's gonna take that thing to the house, because he's trying to make this roster. So and then especially with Todd Monken's offense, he like those shifty, fast backs, just like he like the power backs. And then when
Mm-hmm.
he in the game with Lamar and say, they run a little bit of read option. Now if Lamar keep it, you still gotta watch out for him. But if you pull it and give it to Keaton Mitchell, that might be either way, it might be a touchdown. So I like it a lot. Then Dontay Demus, big receiver out of Maryland, man. Kid's a beast, 6'4", 215 pounds. Uh him and Raheem Jarrett, I don't know how they weren't drafted, undrafted. These scouts must got bad eyes. I really don't be understanding these scouts and GM sometimes. It's more so the
Mm-hmm.
scouts because the scouts, the GM weigh the opinion of the scout because the scout on the road seeing these guys. The
Right.
GM just gonna turn the name in and select the hat. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
turn the name in and hat. The scouts are the ultimate ones who select the players because they're on the road breaking down tape all day long. So hopefully, he stays healthy because I think he could fight for that six receiver spot. I know everybody like Shamar Bridges. I like him too, but I think Dontay Demus gonna give him a run from his money. And Tylen Wallace. James Prochet, I think is done for him. I mean, he might as well go ahead and try to find a trade partner because maybe the Cowboys or the Texans that take him. He's from Texas, so maybe he'll play better there. One of those two teams, but Dontay Demus and Corey Mayfield. Like everybody know, we still trying to figure the secondary out. Are we gonna bring back Peters? Are we gonna bring back Rock? Are we gonna sign Rocky Sin? Are we gonna sign are we gonna resign Anthony Everett? He's out there. So if he can step up and Kanye Blue Kelly step up and the guys from last year step up and this pass rush be on point, they might say, you know what, we're gonna rock what we got. You know what I mean? Because the last two secondaries that played in the Super Bowl wasn't out. I mean, the Rams outside of Ramsey, the rest of the corners was like, okay. The Chiefs
Mm-hmm.
had Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams, all third and fourth rounders up there, So you don't have to have all pros all across your secondary to be in the Super Bowl. So
Oh, definitely.
those guys I'm looking at to step up right now. We're gonna recap each pick and then we'll take our turns giving our grades on them or what we think about the selection, and then
Okay.
that'll be it. All right, we both love this pick at 22, Zay Flowers. Give me your thoughts on that.
I was so happy when we drafted him. I mean, we talked about it for weeks, right? He was on both of our mock drafts. Like it seemed like every week.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I told you that's who I wanted when I did both of my mock drafts. I had him number one both times at 22. Um, I've never ever wanted a guy more than I wanted him. And I was just so excited when I saw that we made the pick, right? So a lot of people are comparing him to Hollywood. Now, to me, the only thing that's really comparable is that they're both, short wide receivers. Other than that,
Yeah.
there is no comparison to me. He's short in height, but he has a big heart. I mean, the way that he takes the ball, he's everything you would want in a wide receiver. I mean, a Doug like Steve Smith does. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're ever going to have to question his toughness when it comes to what he will bring to this team. So overall, the grade the Ravens get for that for me is an A. Perfect pick. I didn't want anybody but him, and I was just so happy that we made the pick.
Yeah, I had him on a lot of my mocks. The only receivers, I mean, we was in good shape because we was gonna get one of the four receivers. They all was right there. Quentin
Right.
Johnson, Jason, Addison, and Zay. Zay was my number was tied for two with Jordan Addison. JSN was my number one. But
Mm-hmm.
we was in good shape. So as long as we got one of the four, you wasn't gonna hear no complaining out of me. But we got Zay, so it all worked itself out. Like you said, he's a small receiver. But the thing about him, he's already coming in at 185 pounds. So Hollywood was at 150 and 160 or something crap like that when he first got drafted. But Zay has already put on some weight. So Zay is definitely more of a Steve Smith or AB than Hollywood. I know they both 5'9", 5'10". That's the only comparison they got. He's much more aggressive. Hollywood may be a little faster, but he's more explosive. I mean, like he like when he catch the ball, he's not trying to go down. Hollywood go down and not trying to
Mm-hmm.
get hit. He cuts back and makes guys miss in space and just wiggles through defenders. Like Hollywood don't do that. He'll catch it and try to juke a little bit, but he not, Zay. I'm saying Zay running guys over. So,
Mm-hmm.
his yak, his yards at the catch is way more better at the Hollywood. So they definitely get an A with this, A plus in my opinion. This is the best it was the best receiver on the board at the time because JSN and all them got picked. So kudos to EDC, man. He had a pretty good draft so far.
Mm-hmm.
Roquan Smith was our second round pick, so we all know how that was an A. So our third round, I'm just being honest, it was our third round pick, Trenton Simpson, linebacker out of Clemson.
I thought it was a something Arthur Costa said that his mindset with this draft was picking the best player available, and I feel like this is a pick that shows that that's what he did. Um, I don't know that everybody felt like linebacker, particularly middle linebacker, was a need for us. You were one up on that train of possibly drafting one and maybe having to trade Patrick Queen to do that. I think that with getting Trenton, it more or less gives us a pick for the future because we're not bringing him in to say, hey, now you're going to be next to Roquan. But if we need to put him in at any position, we probably could do that. Whether it's in the middle, on the outside, special teams, I feel like he's going to make an impact on the team in different ways. But as far as him being like a middle linebacker for our team, I think that's more of a future pick. But it was definitely a good pick. And again, I give the Ravens an A for that pick as well.
Yeah, I give him an A too. Like I said, I definitely wasn't expecting linebacker to get taken that high, but I could see why. Because like I said, the Costa already knew in his mind he wasn't gonna be probably can't afford to get Patrick what he truly wants. So he like,
Hmm.
you know what, I'm gonna have a plan for it right now. So like I said, he played on the edge, he played slot corner. Like I said, he's probably gonna be utilized right now until next year. Just come in the game, blitz, cover the tight end. Have a similar role like Cal Hamilton. Like just come in and
Hmm.
you got a specific job, cover the tight
Right.
end, blitz. You will drop you in the coverage here and there. Let you come off the edge, get some pressure. So like because we rotate guys a lot on defense. So he'll definitely see the field. Like I said, he'll definitely work his butt off on special teams too. And then that shows Malik Harrison like, hey man, like yeah man, you gotta pick it back up. You had a strong rookie year. Then after you got shot, it's like everything just starts slowing down. So you gotta
Hmm.
pick it up, or
Yeah.
you ain't gonna make the 53. So he definitely I like that pick a lot. I definitely give it an A.
Yep.
All right, who Tavares Robinson, edge rusher, Ole Miss. I ain't even do a lot of homework on him. 'Cause I didn't even think we would draft him. I thought we might take another edge rusher, probably like Andre Carter, third. He was still there, and guys like KJ Henry. So give me your thoughts on Tavares Robinson. So the little that you know about him.
Um, from what again, I think a lot of the picks were just future situations, not necessarily to come in this year and make some sort of impact. We all felt like an edge rusher was something that we needed, right? So bringing him in to me just puts more competition in that position, and the cream of the crop will rise. I don't know much about him, like you said as well, but from what I did see, what I did research, he can be a disruptive force, right? But it's just going to depend on the opportunities that he get and how well he takes the teaching that he's going to get from the coaches and veteran players that come around. But it wasn't a pick that necessarily moved me in a way that made me feel like he's going to make an impact now. Again, another pick that he probably could help us down the line. But this year, I don't know how he would see the field besides maybe in like rotational situations. Um, but uh, I'll give them a C plus with this pick.
Okay, I give it a B because they definitely attacked the position. It's just probably the prospect I didn't want. I watched his tape. He's pretty. He's long, 6'6". A little raw falls in the run game. Teams ran at him a little bit from what I saw watching some game film and highlights.
Hmm.
He like I said, he get coached up. But thank goodness we got one of the best outside linebacker coach and pass rush specialist in Chuck Smith.
Hmm.
Former NFL player. Used to call him Doctor Rush because he, 2 years, 3 years in a row, he had plus 10 sacks when he played for the Falcons in the '90s. He got hurt, so that cut his career kind of short. But he was a beast when
Hmm.
healthy. So you got him. He coached Von Miller. He coached Max Crosby. All the tight league edge rushers in the league. He worked with from Aaron Donald. Any good defensive player that edge or interior, he's the man. That's why we hired him. So I think he can get something out of him this year, maybe a couple sacks, but he definitely got to play better against the run. Like I said, I wanted KJ Henry or Andre the Carter third or Isaiah McGuire. There's a couple other prospects I would have took over him. But,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, they addressed the position, so I give it a B.
Okay.
We finally took a corner in the 5th round with my guy Caillou Blue Kelly, who I had on my mock a lot. So give me your thoughts on that pick and your grade.
I was kind of surprised we waited so long to get a cornerback only because it's such a position of need. Um, but I thought it was a great pick for where we picked him at that in that particular round. I don't know that we can go into even training camp and things with thinking that we have solved the answer at that position. Like I still feel like we need to bring somebody in, as we talked about last week. Could it be Marcus Peters, Fuller? We don't know, but we do feel like even with this pick, I do feel like we still need to bring somebody in. But overall, I will give them a B for the pick because of who it is and where they were picked at, and like you mentioned with the previous pick, it was a need. I just don't know how much of an impact he's going to make this year.
I give it a B plus because he's a 4-year starter. So he done seen NFL pro receivers. Drake London, he blanked him basically. Jordan Addison, the Oregon receivers. He went up against Michigan receivers, Ohio State receivers. So he done seen NFL quality receivers and held his own and didn't give up no touchdowns. And he had a couple picks. So I give it, like I said, Caillou Blue Kelly, man, he come up tackle. That's one thing I was fascinated by him when I watched this, that he will come up and tackle with
Okay.
no problem. Good size corner, 6'2". It's 40, not, I mean, he ran a 4.5. That's still decent speed for a corner. So he's nobody's gonna run by him. And like I said, he definitely come up and tackle. And he's gonna compete, man. He's gonna compete. And he got Marlon Humphrey to learn from. You got Chris Horton there, the DB coach, and then Mike McDonald gonna coach him up too. So I'm really excited about his pick. Yes, like I said, we definitely probably bring back Marcus Peters. Like I said, Rock Sin might get signed. It might be Anthony Everett. Cal Fuller, depending on his health, and his brother Kendall Fuller can be available as well, from what I just recently read on
Mm-hmm.
105 The Fan. Byron Jones is still out there. He's not retired. For anybody saying that he still want to play, he put that out there the other day on I Am Athlete because he good friends with Pac-Man Jones and them. Trey Flowers, the corner, played for Seattle, Cincinnati. He's out there. So and Shaquille Griffin, former Jaguars and Seahawks corner. So it's definitely some good options out there to pick up. If we want to target the cornerback position, but this young group is going to be pretty good. Then you got Trey Mullins. I think Jalen Allen Davis, he has no choice but to be better at this point. Pepe showed some flashes. And then Brandon Stevens, he going into year 3, so he definitely got to, the light got to switch a little bit. So I think we're set up pretty good with the cornerback position, in my opinion. As long as the edge rushers do their job, everything will be all right. All
Mm-hmm.
right, the 6th round pick, uh, Masala Amunu Lalu, guard tackle out of Oregon. Give me your thoughts on him. Yeah, I had to take my time and say his name.
um, as we've said for the past two picks, again, it was a need, particularly a need because we don't know what's going to happen with Ronnie Stanley or even some time at right tackle. We don't know. Like it's still up in the air as to who will be our tackles for the future. But when I did do some research on him, one negative thing they said was that he isn't that good with run blocking. And to me, that's a little concerning, more or less because we probably not that we want that to be our strength, but one thing Baltimore's always done is been able to run the ball. And with having a quarterback like Lamar and expecting to have us to establish run games, in each game, we're going to need that from him. But again, because we're not bringing you in to make an impact right now, I feel like he will have the ability to learn and be better in that regard. So overall, I'm not mad at the pick. Again, best player available at that time. I'll give the Ravens a C for that pick.
I give him a C plus because he's strong, man. He's 6'6", 320. Me personally, I would have rather have it the guy I kept picking in my mock draft, Emil Ikio from Alabama. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather have him because he's a 4-year starter and he's more ready. But obviously they saw something. I mean, Coach Joe D must have saw something in him, so they
Mm-hmm.
must, trust this evaluation when they brought him in on a visit. He's definitely big, strong. He's like Polynesian or Hawaiian or something like that. I watched a couple of his tapes. He definitely tossed guys to the ground. Run blocking, from what I saw, that's just me. I don't think he's struggling with that. I don't think he'll struggle with that, especially a hit on attack. It's probably the quicker guys that he probably
Mm-hmm.
have an issue with because they're faster than him. But when I seen him block defensive timing, he mauled him to the ground, and then he was pretty good in pass pro. But like I say, he's not coming in to start right away. But preseason training camp, and then Coach Joe D, one of the best
Mm-hmm.
offensive line coaches, he's been doing this for 40 something years. So he's going to get something out of him. Then he get to learn from Ronnie Stale, and he get to learn from Kevin Zeitler, Morgan Moses, and then our future tackle, like you said, I think Daniel Faalele is going to take over that job once Morgan Moses is no longer here. Whenever they get rid of him or whatever, I'll play his contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll slide in right there. So, and I think us Big Salah, that's what they like to call him. He could slide in at guard or be a swing tackle, but we needed some more beef up front.
Mm-hmm.
The last pick of the draft, they traded back in and get this guy. He was definitely going to be a second round pick if he ain't tear his ACL. Mr. Andrew Voorhees, son of Jason Voorhees, like they like to mess with him and say that. But, guard out of USC, man. They trade back in and get him. Give me your thoughts and grade on that.
Ooh, that was another steal. We've seen the Ravens draft guys, and guys that was injured, later than they probably would have went before if they weren't injured. And we all felt like at some point the Ravens were going to have more than 5 draft picks, but it was looking like that was going to be the end of it until they did, go back into the 7th round to get him. Overall, it's a steal. I mean, of course, he's not going to come in and do anything next year, and that's fine. We might not even get anything from him for another 2 or 3 years, just based on the fact that sometimes you need a year to actually, fully heal from the ACL injury. But I think it was a great deal. It was a steal. Again, it could be a move for the future. Um, I was actually surprised. I guess I'm not surprised because the injury teams probably were scared to, draft him. But I'll just say I'm glad that we had the opportunity to go back in, draft him, and have him on the team. Because overall, to me, like I said, majority of the picks besides Zay Flowers, I don't expect them to come in and have to make an impact this year. So he'll be no different. But I just think it was a steal. So to me, the Ravens get an A for even having the guts to go back into the 7th round to pick him because there's a possibility that he might not have been there if they didn't do that.
I agree. I give it an A. And the Costa say he's going to be playing in 2024. I think he got hurt in early March,
Mm-hmm.
late February, early March. So they said by November, October, he'll be running and stuff. So he'll definitely be ready to go for 2024. He already said that. He said this is probably going to be our starting guard because Kevin Zeitler was on the last year of his contract. Mind you, he's getting up there in age. Unless he
Mm-hmm.
takes a significant pay cut, which I don't, who knows. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we may be moving on for him because DeCosta say you want to get more youth on the O line. So I think Voorhees got a chance to be that right guard, and like I said, in left guard can if Ben Cleveland don't step up, Lulu might take that spot. You never know. So we're pretty set up because you got Faalele who's in his 20s, you got Andrews Voorhees in his 24, 23, Salah in his 20s. Ronnie Stanley will be the only old guy on the line, so everybody else will be in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So the Costa definitely had a good plan. I definitely admire, like you said, Myers courage to take a guy who ain't gonna play this year, but it's gonna help him out. So I definitely give him an A for that, man. So yeah, a pretty good draft all in all. There was a couple little, players that we probably wouldn't have took, but all in all, it should work itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
folks,
then
that's what.
when you like we all said that me and you both said that we didn't feel like the Ravens were like that bad of a team that had a lot of holes. So when your team is built like that, you can go into the draft and pick the best player available, even if it's not a player that you need at that time. So I think they did a great job with this draft. I really, really do.
Yeah. The last two drafts have probably been his best. Each year it gotten a step or two better because that 19 draft class was freaking horrible. Outside of Hollywood, everybody else on the team is gone except for Justice Hill. He not gonna be here forever. But like I said, each year got better and better and better, and then that's what happens when you first start off as a GM. He's So far so good. Like I said, just hope everything translates to the field. But great show. Thank you
Definitely.
guys for tuning in. We'll be back Thursday. Shannon gonna have her topics. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some fire stuff.
Mhm.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe, share. We're trying to get the subscribers up and stuff like that. Like if y'all want got topics we want us to talk about, DM me, DM Shannon. We'll bring it up on the show because we definitely want to hear what y'all got to say. Plus that gives us a break for having to keep coming up with stuff to talk
Mhm.
about. So yeah, no, don't be shy. Definitely send some topics our way. But everybody have an amazing Tuesday. Make sure y'all trade talking Ravens all day, every day with your host Justin P and my MVP co-host Miss Shannon Fitch. You can follow her right there on Twitch. Excuse me, Twitter, IG, Facebook. Same for me. I got TikTok as well, so you can follow me on that as well. Love y'all guys, and we'll see y'all Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Good
We out.
night. Bye,
All right, good
Justin.
night. Bye, Shannon.